Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. Today's project is going to be a product review for Beebeecraft, and these are holographic silicone earring molds, and 5 molds came in a package, so I'm going to go ahead and do all 5. And little did I know, I was playing around the other day, and I was real excited to get these because I figured holographic earrings, I thought they would look awesome. So I played around with them, and I took some glitter, different color glitters, and filled them up with, resin, just regular resin, and the glitter, let them cure, and they had somewhat of a holograph effect to them, but I decided to make them shiny, so I put UV resin on top, and it took away the holographic effect. So yeah, I did not know that. But anyway, the colors that I'm using are Let's Resin's Holographic Powder Fine, which is in the silver, and I'm also using Let's Resin's Chameleon Powder in Grape, and Let's Resin's Chameleon Powder in Cyan. And then those 2 jars that have white caps to them, or lids, whatever you want to call those, they are from Michaels, and I got these in a set. And these don't have any names on them. I think I've had these for a long time. So they have no name, no manufacturing company. All they have is 0.33 ounces, which is 9.3 grams, just in case. But anyway, the pink one is a real pretty pearl looking pink, and then the other one is it's kind of like an off-white, but it's also got a pearl a pearl look to it. And all I'm doing is I'm taking a really soft paintbrush, and I'm just dry brushing these. Now, if you're new to doing this, style, I guess, in dry brushing on silicone molds, you want to make sure that you have a super soft paintbrush, because if you don't, you risk scratching your mold, and you don't want that. So take a really soft paintbrush. Don't wet it, no water, no nothing. Just take it. That's why they call it dry brush. It's because you're not dipping it in anything. You're just putting it inside the powder and brushing that powder all over the mold, as you can see from here. Now what I'm doing is, I don't know if you really noticed or not, but a lot of times when you dry brush, there's excess powder, mica powder, that's going to be in your mold. Now all of it won't come out. Yeah, all of it won't come out, but a good part of it will. And in order to do that, just turn the mold over and slap it a few times, or prop it in your garbage container, and slap it that way, just to make sure that all of that mica powder comes out of there. Now the leftover mica powder will float, as you'll see here in a little while, because I'm going to mix up some resin and black pigment paste, and what that does is that brings out the chameleon and the holographic effect in the earrings. But when I get ready to unmold these, you might get a glimpse of the back of them, but you can tell that there's definitely some mica powder that has just gone ahead and floated to the top. And the reason it floats to the top is because you don't have it mixed inside the resin. So I've got 6 milliliters of resin here, and I've got Lorez Expressions Midnight Black pigment paste. Oh, sorry about that. Somebody was at the door, and I had to turn off the what do you call it, the voice recorder thing. But anyway, so it's Midnight Black pigment paste, and when you use pigment paste, you want to make sure that you stir it really, really well. Otherwise, it won't mix into your resin like it should. And of course, you want to mix up your resin really, really well. Make sure and scrape the sides. I don't know if I do that or not, but and you're going to have some residual that's on the tip of your stick or whatever you're stirring with. You can't get that off. I mean, not all of it. You can get some of it, but not all of it. So I'm going to fill these up with the resin, and the 6 ounces was too much, so I would think that you could get away with using 4 ounces because I overflowed probably all but one pair of these. And I'm looking at a small screen right now, but you can tell that the earrings at the bottom right hand corner, you can tell that the mica powder has floated to the top. Now, if you wanted to sell these, you could paint the back. You could take an acrylic black paint or maybe a different color and paint the back and then top coat it with UV resin. That would be another option. Now, that mold there on the left hand side is a foam grip mold, and that's my go-to mold for any leftover resin that I have. So I think, yeah, I thought that it would be okay to take a pipette and try to suck that resin out of the mold, and it was just, I would get the resin to come down, but it kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to let it go, let it cure, and I'll deal with it later. And those earrings, I don't know if y'all can, yeah, y'all can see the holographic, but yeah, the silver pair, whenever I went to try and suck the resin out of the mold, it looks like I went down too far and I scuffed the mica powder, so it left a mark, and I'm not going to use those earrings in this video because and there's nothing I can do about it either. I mean, if I really had to, I would paint over it, but it wouldn't have that holographic effect to it. And that little tool that you saw me using, that's a deburring tool. And ever since I got that thing, we just don't get along. We just don't get along. No, These earrings are the ones I'm talking about that have the scuff mark. I think the other ones are okay, I think. I do have a silver pair that I use. But this is the next day when I demold these, and it's been a little over 24 hours. And what I'm getting at is, for those of you that don't know, if you have resin that has poured over your mold, you want to get to it as soon as possible. In other words, you want to let it cure, but you want to try and catch the cure in the early stages. You want to try it when it's kind of hard and it's kind of soft at the same time. So yeah, the longer you leave the resin, the harder it's going to get, and you're not going to be able to just cut it off. You're going to have to sand it like that. That little Dremel looking thing right there, it's got different heads to it, and it's got sanding and little nail shapes on it, and that's neat because it's chargeable. It's got high, medium, and low settings on it, and I just took a diamond shaped tip and put it in there so I could make holes in the tops of those earrings, because resin had flowed over the nibs to the mold. So, and here I'm just I took some alcohol and sprayed it on the paper towel and tried to clean up the holes. So one pair of those earrings had the scuff mark, and then I don't know how, but the other pair had black. It had black on it. I don't know why, because the entire surface was covered. So I don't know why it came out looking like it did. But anyway, I'm not using those either. So anyway, I've got DICTION's UV resin, which I have the hard type. I don't know why you would use soft UV resin, but anyway. And I'm doming this pair. Now, if you'll remember what I said earlier, the earrings that I made before these, I didn't put UV resin on them. You just can't see the holographic effect because of the glitter. But yeah, I'm doming those earrings with the UV resin, and that's my little UV lamp, which I don't remember where I got it from. But you can cure them with the lamp, you can cure them with the light, that you see there. And the higher the wattage, I think the higher the wattage, the better it's going to cure. And I find out right there that when I added the UV resin on those earrings, that UV resin took away the holographic effect from the earring. So I'm like, okay, here's something new that I will never do again, which is kind of unfortunate because I wanted these earrings to look nice and just polished looking, something that maybe you could buy from out of a store, or they just look finished and polished. So what I'm doing now is I call these little, what do you call them, pliers? I call those little pliers my second pair of hands, because I know some people can hold a jump ring with the pliers and then take their thumbnail and open the jump ring, and I can't do that. My nails are not in that great of shape. So anyway, I've got to have both pliers. But I'm taking silver jump rings. Don't ask me what size they are. They're the size that fit through the holes and correctly. So yeah, I don't know what size they are. But I was thankful that at least I got 2 pairs that came out looking like what they're supposed to look like. So yeah, you want to take your little jump ring, and I've got some fish hook, what do you call it, fish hook, what do you call those that go in your ears? Fish hooks. I'm just going to call them fish hooks. But yeah, you want to open up your jump ring and slide your fish hook into the jump ring and close the jump ring to where the fish hook is, of course, not going to fall out. Now I'm seeing some people that take just a teeny amount of UV resin and cure it just to make sure that you know, it's not going to come apart. But here we go, the finished product, I guess I would say, and I'm really happy with these. So shop Beebeecraft.